We talked last week about how the Prime Minister had to shut or was in the process of closing his electoral office in Marrickville because of continued protests. Marrickville? Wherever it is. Due to continued protests mainly focused around Palestinian thing, which is kind of funny because he's rather forthcoming on the Palestinian recognition, etc. And so it's surprising, well, not surprising, he's being hoisted on his own petard, really, to have be forced out of his electoral office after 30 years by inconsiderate protesters. Um, Yet more politicians are now in the situation where they're having to close uh, their electoral office with um, a Brisbane politician, a federal politician, having to close her electoral office because of protesters camping outside. Now, is it just for today? Because of aggressive protesters harassing staff. Now, the implication was that it was closed, but that looks like it's just for the day. Um, yeah, I will stand up for your right to protest peacefully, but not when it affects me. I mean, yeah, the treatment it comes back to like talking about the Charlie Kirk thing. Is that there are people who think that because they've gotten away with certain behaviours and speech in the past, that they will never have to be held accountable for what they've said or done. And so they keep escalating more and more and more and more. It, it will never not be chasing them. I mean, there was, I saw it posted online recently, Jordan Peterson, when he was still doing stuff with Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein at one point basically cut him off and removed all their interaction online, removed their podcasts and stuff they'd done together. And Jordan Peterson came back and made a comment to the point of um, basically, I'm paraphrasing here, being careful of of um, submitting to the mob because they will only ever be more emboldened by doing so and demand more and more from you over time until it reaches a point you can no longer meet what the mob demands and they will discard you because you have now broken their trust or because you can no longer meet their requirements and therefore you will be treated the same as anybody else who was discarded early on. Now, Ethan Klein's gone through a bit of a cycle up and down since then, but the point still stands. I mean, you may or may not agree with Jordan Peterson, but the point still stands that you have to be careful. And he painted it as largely a left thing, which is you've got this radical section within the left of, be it socialist, anarchist, black bloc, whatever, that it's like an increasing level of purity tests. These almost Mao level struggle sessions, where it's almost like you can never be good enough for them. You've got to do more. You've got to be more, and yet they'll keep moving the target. No true Scotsman type thing. That it's impossible to adequately meet their demands, and the demands become, because there's nothing to check it, the demands become more insane, more extreme over time, and it keeps trending more extreme. So it, it it doesn't say how long they're going to close the office for, but yeah, Minister issues to do with coal seam gas by the look of things. Oh, no, Woodside gas. No, that was actually normal gas. Um, so yeah, the Labor Party. See, doesn't matter what they do. The Labor Party has betrayed us. So in other words, they're leftist protesters saying that the leftist parliamentary party has betrayed them. You haven't gone far enough for us. So yeah, and I mean, again, as a follow-up, Albanese, when he's talking about the loss of his thing, it says that they are self-indulgent. The protesters are self-indulgent, and they're going to follow him to his next office. And so, self-indulgent and absurd. In other words, no one's called you to account for anything you've said or done. And yeah, so basically they're going to keep following, and it's like, well, champagne socialists. It says more about them than it does about the cause. It's yeah, and it's the fact it's the how he uses his electoral office, which is how most parliamentarians do, means that the vulnerable members of his community are hard to get through and get information because the protesters are in the way. What does watermelon have to do with Gaza? Are they being racist?